So I saw another movie today because there's a movie playing at a theater that I do not like going to. But unfortunately, they get a lot of these really super indie films. If like Atlanta's going to get it, this is where it's going to play. This theater being the Plaza Theater, I need to complain first. The movie costs $12 and it's on Blu-ray, and I'm like, okay, whatever. These are super indie films. It's fine, but I don't want to have to see the Blu-ray player, and I also really don't want to see you struggling to get the music to turn off and have that projected on the screen. Like, this is ridiculous. Then once it took them like 3-4 minutes to get the music turned off and the Blu-ray turned on, they didn't turn the sound on, or they did, but it wasn't loud, so you couldn't hear it. The light was still on in the auditorium, so you couldn't see the movie, let alone hear it. The thing that was playing in the other theater was so loud that even once, after 3 or 4 people went and told them, like, what the hell, and they turned the thing down and restarted the movie and turned the volume on, you could still hear the other movie practically over the loud parts, but definitely during the quiet parts of the movie that I went to see. It was horrible. It was a really bad experience. And I can't blame, like, there's one girl running the cash register, and it's the concessions and where you buy tickets. So, like, I stood in line forever, and then this is what happens, and it's like, I don't know how that theater is still open. So, anyways, I don't like going there if I can help it, but many of the films directed by women that are super indie tend to play there, and so I've been there many times, and I've yet to have a overwhelmingly good experience there. They have good chocolate. It's about all that's going for them. Okay, so the movie I saw was Annie J. Howell and Lisa Robinson's Claire in Motion. They had a film 4 or 5 years ago called Small Beautifully Moving Parts that I watched on Netflix. Actually, before A Year with Women, it was like, I think I watched this movie in 2014 maybe, and it's really a beautiful film. It has Andre Holland in it. I think that's why I watched it, because it has Andre Holland in it, and it was during the Nick. Yeah, and so that one stars Margaret Hollyman, who's in a lot of these micro-budget films. She is in this film. She's not the star of this one. So this one stars Betsy Brandt, who I'm sure people will know from The Walking Dead. I do not watch The Walking Dead, so I don't know her. Not Walking Dead, Breaking Bad. I did not watch Breaking Bad, so I don't know her from Breaking Bad. So much so that I just thought she was on Walking Dead. I don't watch either of those shows. So anyways, she plays Claire. And in the opening sequence, Claire is saying goodbye to her husband who's going off to go hiking. And the next thing you know, he has not returned. And the rest of the film is this sort of exploration of him going missing. As the search winds down, Claire starts learning more things about her husband, including that he was working on an art project with an art grad student. He is a science professor in, I think he's ornithology, is that birds? He's a bird doctor, and so she's finding these things out, like these art students that he's hanging out with, the art student played by Margaret Hollyman, and she finds out more and more about that relationship as the film goes. She and her son, played by Zev Haworth, have to deal with, like, the trauma of not knowing, but also having the husband be gone, a husband and father be gone, and have to deal with the fact that he might not come back. And so that's basically the film. And it's very sort of character driven, and it's more about the various reactions to the things that are happening to them than really the plot, than, like, point A to point B plot sort of thing. So it's sort of a psychological mystery. It has an air of Picnic at Hanging Rock, where this big mystery happens, this disappearance happens, and spoiler alert, you never figure out why. Did he really disappear? Did he trip and fall down a cliff? Did he go off the grid and leave his family? You don't know. And as the film progresses, the more you realize that they didn't know each other very well at all. The son didn't know his father, the wife didn't know her husband, and it has a lot to do with sort of how little you really know about people and how you might think that they've shared everything with you, but maybe they haven't shared. Like there's a whole nother side to people often that they only feel safe sharing with other certain people. And then you realize that sort of there's parts of you that you don't share also. And so that's pretty much, that's the plot. I enjoyed it. I thought the production design is much higher than their previous film. Budget was probably a little bit higher, and the performances were really great. I really enjoyed the kid. He sometimes kid performances can be a little precocious, and I thought he was good. They have him knitting, which I found interesting, and he even talks about why he knits and how it is to be like a boy who knits, which I thought was kind of fascinating. Yeah, it's probably, this film probably has more layers to it if you've actually been in a relationship where you've either learned stuff about somebody or hid stuff from somebody. I've never really been in a relationship, so I can only imagine that this is accurate. So, but I've been in friendship relationships, so I can, from that point of view, I see. It felt real. This movie. So I saw this at the Plaza because I wanted to see it in theaters. It is also available on VOD. You can rent it from Amazon and other places. So if you don't live in Atlanta and or don't want to go to the Plaza Theater, which I wouldn't want to go there either, you can rent it. And so I would suggest renting it and supporting these lovely writer-director ladies. And if you haven't seen Small, Beautifully Moving Parts, please seek that one out also. And like I said, that one has Andre Holland in it, so you've got bonus him. This was Claire in Motion. It was released just this weekend, and I recommend it.